Hey there guys, Chet here. Think about learning how to cook for the very first time. At the very beginning, you might start with something simple like a microwave meal. It's fast, it's easy, and you can be confident that you will get a predictable result almost every single time. You cannot really mess it up. Then as you get a little more confident in the kitchen, you might move on to something like a meal kit service. They send you a box with all the fresh ingredients perfectly measured out along with a beautiful recipe card that shows you step by step what to do. It gives you a chance to be more creative and the food tastes much better. But eventually, you might get to a point where you want total freedom. You want to go to the grocery store by yourself, buy any ingredient you can imagine from anywhere in the world, and create your own unique recipes from scratch in your own kitchen. That is the exact same journey that many people take in the world of automation. The three biggest and most well-known tools, Zapier, Make, and n8n, are just like these three ways of cooking. They each represent a different level of ease, power, and creative freedom. In this video, I want to tell you the story of how these three tools and my own personal journey through them. We will look at what each one feels like to you so that you can figure out which stage you are at and which tool is the perfect fit for you right now. And by the way, we're going to be talking a lot about n8n in this video, so if you want to check it out for yourself at any point, I've put the links to their official website and my own simple setup tutorial down in the description. My journey and the journey of so many others started with Zapier. Zapier is the microwave meal of automation. It is without a doubt the fastest and easiest way to get a result. The website and the interface are incredibly simple and clean. You choose a trigger, which is the starting event, and then you choose an action, which is what you want to happen. You turn it on, and it works. You do not need to know anything about how it works behind the scenes. This is why Zapier is so popular and so successful. It's perfect for absolute beginners. If you just need to connect two very simple, very common apps together quickly and without all the complications, Zapier is a reliable and simple choice. But just like a microwave meal, it's not very flexible, and it can get very expensive if you plan on eating a lot. So, after using Zapier for a while, I started to feel like I wanted more creativity. I wanted to build automations that had more than just two steps. I wanted to add some logic and some rules. So that's when I moved on to using Make.com. Make is the meal kit of the automation world. When you use Make, it feels like a big step up. They give you all the ingredients you need and a beautiful recipe card to follow. Now I say this because their visual editor is amazing. You can see your data flowing from one step to the next, and it gives you many more options to be the creative and build more interesting workflows. It is much more powerful than Zapier's simple two-step process. I'm gonna be honest, I loved using Make for a very long time. It felt like I was finally cooking for real, but just like a meal kit service, it still has some limits. You can only use the ingredients they send you, which means that you can only connect to the apps that they officially support. And the cost, which is based on every single little step your automation takes, can start to add up very quickly as you start to cook more and more meals. Eventually, I reached a point where I did not want to follow a recipe anymore. I wanted to invent my own. I wanted to use any ingredient I could find, not just the ones in the box. That is when I discovered n8n. n8n is like being given the keys to your own professional kitchen. It gives you the freedom to use any ingredient in the world and combine them in any way that you could possibly imagine. This is because n8n is a different type of software called open source, and you can run it yourself. This means two incredible things. First, the cost is next to nothing. Instead of paying for every meal you cook, you just pay a tiny rent for the kitchen space, which is your server, and then you cook as much as you want, forever. Second, you have total and complete freedom. You can connect to any app on the entire internet, not just a pre-approved list from a menu. You are not limited by someone else's choices. The power you get with n8n is truly unmatched. You can build incredibly complex workflows with many different paths and rules. You can even use a tiny bit of code to solve a tricky problem if you need to, which gives you a secret weapon to fix anything. But having a professional kitchen also means you have the responsibility to learn how to use all of that powerful equipment. And learning your way around a professional kitchen can seem intimidating. It is a big step up from a microwave or even a simple meal kit, and you might want someone to show you the ropes so you don't get lost. That's exactly what I do in my school community. I act as your head chef. I have the full course that teaches you everything about n8n from the basics to the most advanced recipes. We have live sessions where we build things together, and I share my own secret recipe templates. If you're ready to become a real automation chef, the link for my community is in the description. So that's the journey through the three main tools of automation. Zapier is the microwave meal for quick, easy, and reliable results every time. Make is the meal kit for when you want more creativity and want to follow a beautiful visual guide. And n8n is the full professional kitchen for when you want the ultimate freedom and power to create anything you can imagine at a tiny fraction of the cost. There's no single right answer for everyone, but one of these is probably the right answer for you. All right, that's the end of the video. I hope my story about this journey helps you figure out which style of cooking is best for you and your business. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.